What's good, my fellow chumbas? Hope you're all doing well today. So, I've been waiting for some games I really want to play to go on sale, and in the meantime, I've kept myself occupied by deciding to take to the sea. I yearn to feel the salt spray upon my sun-kissed skin, my beanie protecting me from the icy gale force winds, and the roar of the ocean as I cast out my line. What manner of beasties will be biting this time? This game is the most fun I've ever had playing Tetris, and that's one of the pillars of its gameplay. All the fish you catch have different sizes and take up a certain amount of space on your ship. Your trusty vessel is divided into squares, with some being dedicated to pure storage and others left available to install a myriad of equipment. It's a cool concept and one that I really enjoyed. Nothing feels more rewarding than finding that perfect setup and absolutely filling your hold to the brim with a variety of aquatic creatures and sea life. All animals found in the game have a certain rarity to them, shall we say, with the harder to find varieties being worth a lot more money than the common counterparts. Find a hammerhead shark shoal out in the deep ocean. You can bet that that's going to bring you a decent payday compared to filling the same space with blue mackerel, which are essentially the pigeons of the sea. The game rewards you taking your time to reel in those big catches, and that's something I can appreciate. You're also able to dredge for sunken treasure at certain locations, and finding rarer items sells for more too. There's a variety of items you can get, from belt buckles and shoes to gold rings and ancient doubloons. It's exciting your first time around, curious about what you'll find sifting within the dark shapes lurking beneath the surface. Due to the Lovecraftian nature of the game, you'll oftentimes notice that some things can get a little bit mysterious, odd, or even downright creepy. Nighttime is when you can usually find rarer and more, shall we say, interesting varieties of fish. These are always fun to catch, as their visuals and descriptions are both unique and also a little bit disgusting. There's a morbid fascination with wanting to fill out your compendium and find all these aberrations. It's always a hell yeah moment when you manage to reel in a new addition. The longer you stay out on the open water at night, the weirder things will tend to get. You have to remember, you're just a normal fisherman experiencing abnormal anomalies. Your panic meter is gauged by an ever-opening eye just below your compass. The more wigged out you're feeling, the more dangerous things tend to get. Obstacles will start to appear out of thin air. Vortexes can spawn out of the ocean that seek to send you below the cold, salty waves. Eventually, other things will start to take notice of you too. There's a pleasant risk versus reward function in the game, and it keeps the general loop from becoming stale too quickly. There always seems to be something I haven't seen yet, and that keeps me wondering what could be next. I have to say, a game this fun and packed with activities being less than 2 GB in size is some downright magical work. Downloading and getting into the action was faster than a jackrabbit on PCP. The game starts with a little intro cinematic that explains more or less who you are, what you do, and how you ended up in this odd place. Everything trundles along steadily enough, and you get introduced to what you're going to be doing for the game, mostly, that being fishing. You head out into the bay in your shitty little dinghy and hope it doesn't explode from the neck-breaking 2 knots the engine is pushing. You'll eventually make your way back to the town in order to sell your catch and make some cash that can be used to purchase all manner of goodies, from equipment to capture a larger array of fish friends, upgrades for your boat, and all that other good stuff. You'll soon come to realize though that not all is as it seems, and the townsfolk warn you about staying out on the water after dark. As mentioned before, however, things become very not of this world as the sun sets, and when you venture out into the open water, you're risking both your life and your sanity. The story is actually quite interesting, even though it's rather simple. Most of your mission structure is finding sunken relics, delivery, and fishing, or something of the sorts. However, it's all woven together tightly and the gameplay loop is great. You'll want to find elusive fish to fill out your compendium and maximize your profits in order to fund your crippling addiction to modding your ship. Yeah, that's right, you little bitch painter man. Tie that bunting right up there. Nice and good. There's also a large variety of tasks and side quests that you can find throughout your journeys, from having to catalog or collect rare fish species to handling dubious packages that are almost certainly packed to the brim with Peruvian pollen. But you should have known that before accepting the parcel from rather dubious fellows themselves. You'll get solid rewards from completing your tasks in terms of cash, equipment, or books. Reading books in this game gives you strong, permanent passive buffs that can make your whole experience easier, making them well worth the effort to get. The graphics in this game are lovely. They're all rather stylized, and it isn't meant to be cutting edge or photorealistic. Instead, everything looks like a painting of sorts, with characters you find along your travels being wonderfully diverse in their design and art direction. The environment is also fantastic, with sunrises over the deep ocean shining golden light on distant landmasses, banishing the dark and oftentimes hair-raising gloom of the night. Each of the many zones in the game also have unique soundtracks associated with them. When you enter the location, you'll notice soothing and melodious tunes start playing, some being melancholic, others being more peaceful. It all weaves itself together beautifully, and I could lean back in my chair listening to the music and the sound of the waves lapping up against the hull of my ship for ages. It's really great work, and the sound team knocked it completely out of the park. Fishing, dredging, and other interactions and activities all have high quality sound effects as well, and you can easily lose yourself in the sauce, feeling like a salt-bitten sea captain from the comfort of your seat, feeling that cool spray of Mountain Dew upon your skin. When it comes to what doesn't work well, to be completely honest, there's really not that much in the game that sucks ass or causes an unnecessary struggle. My only real gripe is that once your boat is about as fast as it can get, you'll often smash into things when navigating the tighter spaces which can be found. These can cause you to lose some of your precious haul that you're carrying. It'd be great if there was a slow, medium, and full steam ahead option so you could navigate a little bit better when it comes to the more cramped spaces you can find within the game. Searching for specific types of fish can also turn out to be a bit of a chore at times. The compendium does a generally good job of telling you where exactly you can find them. But catching the damn things can be a mission in and of itself. For example, there's a certain volcanic area to be found within the game. There is a mission in that area that requires you to catch a specific crab. For the life of me, I still haven't been able to do it, even though I've been dropping metric tons worth of crab pots at that specific depth. Having to resort to an online guide in order to figure out what should have been relatively simple doesn't feel terribly great. Other than that, however, I don't really have any other gripes with the game. I think it's the perfect game to play if you've been looking for something to keep you engaged and occupied. It's a fantastic experience with a deceptively simple facade. It's oftentimes incredibly peaceful and cathartic to play, and it never made me feel unnecessarily stressed or forced me to do something I didn't want to do. This game feels like it respects its players and their desire to explore. There's always something to be found over the horizon, and you'll never know unless you make that journey for yourself. If you find that the game scratches all the right itches and you want something more, then there's two rather sizable DLC that you can purchase to expand the game even further. The Pale Reach adds a new frozen biome to discover, whereas the Iron Rig adds a large variety of new mechanics, equipment, and things to do. They're both great, with the latter usually being found to be more bang for your buck. So go ahead and grab your crab pots, your netting, and your reel. It's time to get fishing, my friend. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to support the channel, please consider dropping a like and subbing for future content. It's greatly appreciated, and the ancient gods would surely be happy about that too. Go well and have a good one further. Thanks for listening.